Hi guys, I'm Sparkmaster Neon and welcome to part 2 of my free-to playthrough. Now before we start, I want to just go over the rules of my free to playthrough challenge that I'm doing, since I failed to clarify those last time. And that is, I'm not putting any money into this game. I'm doing no wishes. I'm not using any Primogems outside of the very first starter summon for the guaranteed Noelle, which, as you can see here, I have. Got that last video, very end. Using truly free-to-play characters only, so that's Traveler, Amber, Kaeya, Lisa, Barbara, Xiangling, and Noelle. I'm not using 5-star anything except for Traveler, who's arguably a 5-star, and artifacts I receive through grinding in the game. I'm giving help to break down the game's mechanics, beginning friendly tutorials, and I'm not spending more than 1 or 2 hours a day in order to simulate, the average work week and having little to no time. But anyway, last time I had some technical difficulties, which I'm praying I don't have this time. I have ordered a Ethernet cable, and I will be connecting it to my PS4 for stronger stability. It will be here apparently on the 5th. It's a work in progress, live and grow, right? But anyway, last time when it suddenly cut off, I was in the middle of a tutorial on mining and the geo element. And so I'm going to start with that. So you see, when you hit an iron ore with a sword, it does little to no damage. But when you hit it with a claymore, it breaks in one hit. Now, claymores in Geo do increase damage to Geo constructs, such as the ore. Now, if I go over here, I can show you. When I do Geo damage to this ore,
I must leave no stone unturned.
It breaks it in one hit, because Geo does increase damage. Now, I do want to show you guys the crystallize effect of Geo, and that comes from hitting someone hit with another element. Like a slime is infected with the element of the slime, and it gives you a shield of that element if you crystallize it with Geo by hitting it with Geo. Kind of like how a Nemo picks up the other elements, so too does Geo make a shield of them. So I'm going to try and track down some enemies here with Amber out and see if I can't make a fire shield. So watch, if I proc fire on him, and I hit him with Geo damage, it creates a little crystal, which then gives me that circle shield. That's known as crystallize. Gotta love claymores and their high damage numbers. But that's essentially what Geo breaks down to. Is creating those shields. Just like a Nemo picks up the element and goes with it. Now I wonder, I've never actually tried this. If you ignite a campfire,
steady as stone.
It does. It crystallizes the fire of the campfire. So you can even use other elements you find in the overworld to create shields for yourself, which is a big plus, if I do say so myself. And that's how Geo works. And we went over Nemo and Pyro in the last video, so I'll continue over to here, and we'll do Amber's. Once I clear that off, that's annoying me. Alrighty. We'll do Amber's domain here.
This is it. One of the deserted temples of the Four Winds. These temples have been left to waste for years now. The people of Mondstadt almost never come here. There's a chance there's a monster nest or hilitrol camp inside. Even Storm Terror has given up on its own temple. Yes, I also find it hard to accept, but Storm Terror was once one of the Four Winds.
Yep, the dragon of the North Dvalin.
Huh? Wait! Did you just feel that? The wind here. Something's off. Let's go in and take a look. Be careful. The dragon's power is disturbing this area.
Alright, let's go into our first domain. Domain's essentially a dungeon that there are story domains like this one where you can do single player, but there's also ones where you farm weapon materials and other things when it comes to oh, hello, new person. How are you? Welcome. But yeah, in domains, essentially you can, there's single player domains that are story related like this one, and then there's also domains where you can farm artifacts and other weapon materials that you are able to do co-op. So that's where co-op stuff comes into play once you're adventure rank 16 or higher. But yeah, into the first domain.
You can use that console to open the door.
And this one, I believe, focuses on Amber.
Wow,
So
I can see
lucky
so far
us,
into
we
the
have
temple.
Amber. Spread the fire everywhere. And that's basically telling you what I told you guys last video, that when there's a burnable object, you can't burn it down, but obviously platforms are immune. Alrighty. So yeah, I'm greedy, so I like to burn everything down and get what's in the barrels and whatnot.
I'll race you there.
See if we can spread this fire. Nope. Burned it down too fast. Alrighty. And that was basically to show you that if you use your elemental sight, anything that's burnable will show up green because it is affected with the dendro element, which is the element of nature. And the reaction you get when you combine dendro and pyro is a burning down effect.
Oh no! A horn! The fighting must have got them riled up.
Alrighty, time to snipe. Also,
Well,
keep in mind,
good thing
you
I
notice
prepared my secret
their clubs
weapon,
and shields are made out of
explosive
dendro.
puppet berry bunny.
So you can actually burn their shields away when they're a wooden shield like that. And that's
Let it rain.
some good combat knowledge to have when using pyro. Let me get that off my screen, it's distracting me. Okay. Also, don't be afraid to use your basic combo for archery, because it does make a big difference. Because sometimes you don't have time to aim. And heck, for some characters, like for example Fischl with Oz out in the field, if you do her basic combo, Oz will attack with her with enough constellations, and oh, does that make a big difference. Boom. Let's go. Okay. And always look around these rooms because there's always secrets somewhere. Be sure not to miss anything.
Are those explosive barrels over there?
Yes, they are.
Well, one shot should be able to blow them up.
Keep in mind that it doesn't even have to be a charge shot. You can just quick fire and they'll blow up.
I'll race
And
you
those will
there.
proc fire, which you can then, as I've showed last video, spread it around with an ammo. Also worth noting, if all enemies have weak, or most enemies have weak points. For example, on the Hilly Trails, if you shoot them in the face with an arrow, it'll do what's called weak point damage, which is essentially crit, but I'm not 100% sure yet if it's the same as crit damage or if it's a little less. I just know it's considered weak point damage, and it is much greater than normal damage, as should be expected.
With the wind!
There
Wind
we
blade!
go. Alrighty.
It's so
And now I
high.
present to you why
Seems like there's
Amber
something up there.
is amazing in the field.
But how
She
do
can
we
charge
get
fire
across?
arrow. And trust me, with the amount of fire switches
Isn't
in the
this
overworld,
a pyro monument?
she's a great character to
If
have.
we hit it with a powerful pyro attack, we might trigger it.
Wind currents. And this
Dragon's
is a
breath.
crystal.
Is that where the power's coming from?
If you have a crystal of
Great,
that element,
let's
it will
smash
proc that element. For example, this is an anemo crystal. If you find it in the overworld, see the anemo sigil on it. When you shoot it, it creates a wind spire that you can then
Phew, I'm
Ride out.
tired. But at least this way we've helped Jean out. In the past, we were at least able to defend the city and keep it safe. This, of course, is mostly thanks to Jean. But now with Storm Terror directly attacking the city itself, the winds change. So too should our tactics.
Sounds deep.
It's what Lisa likes to say. Speaking of which, the 4 winds we were discussing earlier, if you want to learn more about our history, you can ask Lisa. I'm not saying I don't know our history. It's just, I mean, a librarian is supposed to be more knowledgeable than an outrider, right?
Yeah, sure. Alrighty. Treasure. Let's see. On to the next one! She wants us to talk to Lisa, so let's go do Lisa's next, and I'll show you the element of Electro and how that reacts with the world. If I had more things to react with the Pyro, I would have demonstrated that in there, but right now, work in progress on getting the characters, right? The free-to-play ones, because they do give you one of every element, except for Dendro. Currently, there are no characters that use Dendro. Hopefully soon. Fingers crossed. Pray to MiHoYo, the great lords of this game. Alrighty. So where am I headed? I'm going... Oh, that's right. It's a side quest. We want sparks amongst the pages. Right over there. Ooh, a Sealy. So I haven't shown you guys what a Sealy is. One of these little green sprite things. If you follow one, it will lead you to treasure. And there are achievements tied to leading Sealies to these treasures. That will give you free Primogems. A small amount of Primogems, but every Primogem matters when you're summoning. Also, these are Dendro slimes. And like we showed before, Dendro ignites. Poor guy. He was hiding. Fortunately, the game makes me fight him. But yeah. Also, I do apologize if my gameplay seems off today. I did just come from therapy, or physical therapy before here, and I am still nursing an injured wrist.
Oh, it's one of those consolidated.
But I should be fine.
Let's
It is
head back to the
little
statue of the 7 at Winterrise and offer it to the gods.
painful, but yeah.
Well, you
I'll
should
be
come
fine.
with
It's
me.
just acting up
Paimon
right
will
now.
tell you about the rest later.
Alrighty. That's just going over stuff I've already shown you guys. The Hydra reaction
It's a
to the
statue of the 7.
Anemo, because Anemo picks up elements,
Let's make
and
an
the
offering and see
Sealy.
if the gods respond.
Let's see. Let's go. New map. It's been so long since I've done this. Oh, that's right. You can level them up. The more Anemoculus you get, you put them into the tower, and that's how you get increased stamina. And Anemoculus is that green thing I found earlier. I will show you one when I next find one, because for some odd reason I wasn't thinking about that. I believe there's one up here though. They do pop up on your map. Yeah, you see that little star up in the top left of my mini map? That is an
People call
Anemoculus.
them Animoculi.
As Paimon
They
is
can be
explaining.
fitted into the statue's eyes. Some stories say the statue's eyes originally had gems that were taken by
Oh, gotta
swallows,
wait.
but Animoculi never had a physical form from
Alrighty.
the start. People
Also,
with
keep in
visions
mind,
collect
it
them to
is more
offer to the
cost effective
statues
to
as
climb
blessings.
without jumping. You do actually
Unlike
get
others with
farther
powers,
if
you
you
don't
wait
have a
and go
vision.
slow like this.
But the rules of this world don't
And you may
apply to
notice me
anyway,
jumping, that's because
so
I'm impatient.
Keep offering Animoculi and maybe you'll receive more blessings.
But if you have none here and you jump and you make it up top, for example, you'll be fine. As well, let's see, where is this Anemoculus? I remember it being somewhere up here. Oh, there it is. That is what an Anemoculus looks like. This thing right here. And then you pick those up. And you turn them into the statue to rank up your stamina and the level of the statue. And I cannot do this puzzle yet. I will be back, mark my words. So I need Kaeya, Lisa, and Amber for this because they match those elements. Also, near Anemo statues you will find these Windwheel Asters. It is important to pick them up as they will allow you to level up and ascend your main character. Different characters require different plants, so it's always good to check that in your character ascension. Here, you'll see it in a minute. Or not. Basically, if you're on this menu and you press, as you can see, it says the stars, and then on the right it says up on the D-pad. When I press that, it shows me the ascension materials that I will need to ascend from 20 to 40. And what ascension does, it increases your max level as well as increases your stats, and at certain ascension tiers, you will unlock these talents here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Just doing a tutorial on talents and ascension. And yeah, so at Ascension Phase 1, which is your first Ascension from 20 to 40, you'll unlock this talent. And Ascension Phase 4, which is going to be your fourth Ascension, which is, let's see, you go from 20 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, and I believe it's 60 to 70. You unlock Ascension Phase 4, which will give you your second skill here. But yes, like I was saying, it is important to pick up these Windwheel Asters as they are the material required for ascension on your main character. I mean, it's always nice to pick up everything anyway. You can never go wrong if you pick everything up. You'll always be prepared for anything upcoming in this game. Let's see. Alrighty. Oh, look, another Anemoculus. Let's see. Looks like if I climb up there, I can glide down to get that. Let's find out, shall we? Alrighty. Here we go. Alright, there you go. Ooh, treasure chest. Let's go get that. And I'll show crystallize on water. Every time I hit them, you'll notice they drop a crystal. That crystal will give me a shield based off the element that's procced on them. And since they're slimes, we have a cryo slime here that drops cryo crystals. And a hydro slime here that's dropping hydro shield crystals. And that's how the crystallize effect works. For Geo. In action. This is before I was showing you on a light hilly trail fight.
Someone needs assistance.
And all shields will block all elements, but they have an increased resistance to the element of the shield.
I'll catch up.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Lisa's up here. Alrighty, up to Lisa. They're all Amber told us to consult the librarian. Fastest way is most likely this way, so I'm gonna take the air current all the way up here. And there's our domain right there. Oh, Anemoculus. Did I get it? There we go. It's being finicky. Ooh, I see a dandelion. Oh, it's so tempting to go grab those Anemoculus. But we'll be here all day if I do that. Baby steps, right? They're on the way, I'll grab them. Now, so when you see a dandelion like this, you can't just pick it up. The only way to harvest a dandelion is to hit it with a Nemo and get the dandelion seed. Speaking of which, I think I just got an achievement for doing that. Let's find out. Yep. There's an achievement for it. 5 Primogems that I'm not using. Alrighty. Let's see. Lisa's here. Well, since this one's right here, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Or at least Ow. I'm gonna try to get it. Ah, thank God I jumped high enough. Alrighty, let's unlock Lisa. Hello, librarian.
Hey, cutie. You're going to help me out, too? Don't hesitate to come to me if you need anything. Good question. Well, because Jean trusts me. So you should as well.
Is that really a reason? That's fine. Time for the Electro tutorial. To the Temple of the Lion to unlock Lisa. Alright. Only have 3 characters right now. Soon to be 4. And then we'll get Kaeya, which will make our 5th. And then that'll be our team until I unlock Barbara. Which is, I believe, at Adventure Rank 18. Did they give you a free Barbara? It was 20 in 1.0, but in 1.1 I believe they changed it to an Adventure Rank 18. Alrighty.
I guess I could give this a go.
Alright. Time for a tutorial on Electro.
I knew it. There is a strong elemental energy coming from deep within this temple.
Let's see.
Paimon, are you able to float across?
Can't do much even if she does.
Good point. We'd better
We have
start
some
looking for a way to get up there.
that we can burn down while we're
Let's
here.
ride this wind current, shall we?
And see if there's any treasure. And there is. Look at that. Alrighty. Let's go up here and see if there's some enemies to demonstrate Electro on. Oh, I see more treasure. It is important to destroy barrels because sometimes you get resources like raw meat and whatnot in there. Alright, let's open this door and see what happens. Let's see what we can do in here. Oh, still. There we go. So this is a pyro slime. You see how pyro's procced on it. When you hit it with Electro, it actually will detonate in what's called an overload effect, as you can see. And it actually knocks enemies back, as you can see by him getting launched.
Come a little closer.
But now I'll show you Overload, I'll show you Lisa's mechanic, for those of you who want to use Lisa.
Come a little closer.
Every time I hit her with my single press R2, you notice they get a number, and that goes from 1 to 3. When you get when it charges up to 3,
come a little closer.
You do her charge
You've been a naughty
skill,
boy.
and it just does a massive hit of Electro damage. And if they're inflicted with Pyro, it will overload them. And Overload is nice, because Overload does some pretty solid DPS.
It's an Electro monument.
In fact, I find it to be one of the most effective.
No wonder. Let me
Now
try
the
to
Electro
activate it with a
character
bit of
activates Electro
power.
Switch.
Stand back, sweeties, for a little shock.
It appears Overload charges these to 3, which
Come a little closer.
I did not know,
You've been
but
a naughty boy. You're in for a little shock.
that's
You've
a
been a
pleasant
naughty
surprise.
boy.
And as you can see, that third charged attack, it hits. It hits hard. Alrighty. And then there comes enemies like this. When they're inflicted with water, I'm going to show you when there's a hydro proc on the enemy. If you hit them with fire, it does what's called vaporize, which is a 50% increase plus the bonus your elemental mastery gives you. Now for Amber, I believe she has sometimes that wheels being difficult. Alright, with Amber, her elemental mastery is currently 20. So if you notice, it says here, vaporize and melt are increased by 4%. So I have the fire on water is 50%, whereas water on fire is 100% increase. So I get 4% on top of the 50%. So it's a 54% increase to vaporize damage on a vaporized hit, which is that. Now when you hit someone with Electro and water, it gives what's called Electro Charge, which basically is like a chain lightning effect. As you can see, the electricity bounces between each of them. And that number is also found in the Elemental Mastery and increased.
When it
And
comes
you'll
to
find
wet
that-
enemies, I've got them covered.
You'll find the Elemental Mastery is very important in late game, as the bigger damage numbers come from the Elemental effect bonuses.
Let it rain!
Oop. Blew myself up. Okay. But yeah, see, when you destroy dendro barrels and stuff, a lot of times you'll get food ingredients, and cooking is very important. So it's important you pick these up. Cooking is the difference between
another wind current.
good
Let's
TBS
write it up from
and
here.
insane DPS. Let's see. Oh, more of these.
Windblade!
Food, give me all your food. Alrighty. Let's see here. As you can see, the electro charge effect for each hit.
Try not to enjoy this.
Lisa's
too.
ulti is an AoE effect field of electro damage, which you can then chain to more people with Hydro. For every hit, it will chain. And then detonate.
Hit chain lightning can be set off between electro-charged opponents. The electrical discharge caused by friction is
As she was explaining the electro charge.
You want to know about this gem? You're kidding. You're seriously asking? This is a vision. It's used by the Chosen to draw on elemental powers. In terms of mysticism, I suppose you could call it a magical lightning rod.
Let's see. Here we go. Alrighty. Up we go and
What?
No, come
You've
back.
never seen a vision? Just where exactly are you from? Are you a hilly churl with some
I
level of
screwed up.
reasonable intelligence?
Up here.
No, I doubt it.
There you go.
After all, hilly churls aren't exactly known for their smarts. And you'd more or less qualify to be a magister's apprentice.
Well, that's very kind of you to say.
Break it, and we can head home and relax. The thought of putting my feet up and relaxing has me all fired up. Dragon of the East, Lion of the South, Wolf of the North, Falcon of the West. They are the four winds of Mondstadt, affiliated with Barbados, the god of Anemo. The Dragon of the East, Storm Terror, its real name is Dvalin. Though most in Mondstadt seem to have forgotten that in all this Storm Terror business. So now you know why Dvalin is only able to channel 3 of the four winds' power. Because it has been consuming itself from the beginning. Because of hatred,
Hatred?
Hatred for Mondstadt. Hatred drove it to become something more powerful than the wind itself. To become Storm Terror.
But why would one of the four winds hate the city it was supposed to protect?
As a child of Mondstadt, it's something that's really hard to say aloud. Here, take this. It's a very old story from more than a century ago.
Alright, let's learn about Dvalin's past. Oh, it's to the archive. Let's check it out. Oh.
Yep.
Archive has to be accessed outside of a domain. Let's check that out. Let's find out what happened to Storm Terror. It's time for some lore. Hope you're ready for the story, because we're about to get one. Alrighty. Once it decides to load, anyway. Let's see.
Ooh, you're taking me out?
Yeah, character unlocked. That's what I'm talking about. First off, we'll... Oh, it's already ready. All the way over there. We will go there after we check out this new story. Let's learn the truth of Storm Terror while we're here. We don't want all books. We want... Here we go. Breeze amidst the forest, the dragon. An excerpt from an investigation into the cultural customs of the Wind Kingdom, more commonly known as Records of Customs and Culture by Jacob Musk. The Wolf of the Night of Boreas, or the Wolf, yeah. The Wolf of the Night of Boreas, the Lion of the Lion Fang Night, or Dandelion Night, the Falcon of the Knights of Favonius, and the Wind Dragon Dvalin have been long regarded as the four winds that watch over Mondstadt. After the Lion Fang Knight liberated Mondstadt, the Knights of Favonius was established, and the Knight of Boreas joined them. The tradition of worshipping the four winds was gradually formed in Mondstadt. However, Dvalin, the ancient wind dragon, predated them all. Approximately 100 years ago, the land was in chaos. Darkness spread, contaminating everything it touched. Barbarians and foul creatures roamed the lands, forcing people to dwell within the city walls. It was an especially difficult time for Mondstadt. The Lion Fang Knight was without a suitable heir, and the Knights of Favonius had lost many of its brave men and women during the bitter wars. During the most difficult of times, Durin, the corrupted dragon of immeasurable power, began attacking Mondstadt. By Durin, I suppose they mean Dvalin, or maybe that's the Dark Dragon that's mentioned in other lore. I believe it's the Dark Dragon. Yeah. The prayers of Mondstadt's people awoke the Anemo Archon, and his will summoned forth the Wind Dragon Dvalin. Yeah, so Durin's the Darkness Dragon that was plaguing the city, and Dvalin is the Wind Guardian of the East, the Dragon Dvalin. As the last defender of Mondstadt, Dvalin battled Durin with all his might. The result was clear. Durin's remains still lie atop the snowy peaks to the south of Mondstadt, but the story of how the battle ended was lost in time. It is said that Dvalin ripped out Durin's throat, and together they fell from the sky. Durin's body sunk into the snow, while Dvalin was summoned by the Anemo Archon and fell into a slumber. People used to believe that Dvalin would awaken whenever Mondstadt faces a new threat, but in these times of peace, the belief the four winds has gradually eroded and their temples lie all but completely deserted. So in other words, he was corrupted by the Dark Dragon. And because of this, he hates Mondstadt and its people. Poor dragon. Oh well, on to the next temple. Hopefully we can save him. But I see a treasure chest, so my eyes have been diverted. I'll show you guys something interesting. You see Frost Slime, Hydro Slime? If I can hit the Frost Slime first, I can then freeze this Hydro Slime. As you can see, he's frozen. And then I can break the ice. And win the fight. Those elemental reactions are extremely important. They make a huge difference. And in fact, when this video goes up, I'm going to post a link to a picture showing all of the elemental reactions in the description. Because all my live streams go onto my channel. I believe I saw another treasure chest. Yep, right here. And there's some floating Anemo slimes over there. I do believe if you shoot these, it gives you a treasure chest. Sometimes. Oh, that's because there's a third one. There we go. Oh, perfect. Right next to me. Alrighty. Secret acquired. Alright, let's see. First, we are going to shoot the barrels, blow ourselves up because we're kind of dumb like that. And I'm gonna ulti. We're gonna go fire. Nope, it picked up the water. That's fine too. The water will have a 100% increase from the vaporized proc on that fire. Look at that. That's called teamwork. And using nature to your advantage. Alrighty. Oh. Some ores. Ooh, some more ores. There we go. Ooh, some more ores. Enjoy that claymore while I got it, because as soon as Kaeya comes in, well, I'm probably going to be taking Noelle out of the party for now. Just to have tight coverage. Alrighty. Let's see. And up we go. There are so many treasure chests. The good old days. All these are all done on mine. Once you do them all, they're all gone, and it's like, ah, I wish I had more. Teleporter up there, I'll have to grab. Let's see. Any other? Yes, torch there. Let's see. Where's the last torch? There it is. There must be another one. A new torch. Oh, there it is. Boom, there we go. And that's why Amber's a great fire person to have for stuff like that. Those torches are so much easier to light with her in the party. And overload procs to detonate the area. Oh. There we go. Those overload procs. That is a fire slam, no wonder. Let's see. Overload.
You're in for a little shock.
Oh yeah.
You're
Overload
in for a
procs
little
3.
shock.
So
You've been a naughty
detonate.
boy.
There we go. All these DPS, this DPS is gonna take some getting used to, that's for sure. I'm used to, well, my paid accounts crazy high numbers. Oh, that's right. It's this side. That was close. Still getting used to no stamina. Almost fell off. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and this lamp grass is going to be important for Amber's ascension. So, I'm going to pick this up too. That's some mint leaves. Don't need those. Let's see. Yeah, I'll grab some just because. There, now I've got... Ooh, is that a whopper flower? It is! Let's go. Gonna crystallize this.
Steady as stone.
Let's go. Get that Geo shield. Well, it's actually a cryo shield, but still. Noelle is a very solid choice for Geo, by the way, guys. She will absolutely wreck the Geo hypothesis. So if you're looking for somebody to fight that thing, she's a very good character level for it. And she's free, as long as you do your starter summon. Let's see. Alrighty. Now it's time for Kaeya, and I will showcase the element
You've
of cryo.
arrived. Come closer. Can you smell that? Something must have happened in the temple. I imagine there will be slimes, hilly churls, and whatever's giving Storm Terror extra power. Oh yes, it is going to be lively in there indeed.
Yeah, then let's get to it.
Oh, you're quite the brave one, aren't you? It's a
Yeah.
pity that the Temple of the Wolf has been disturbed by such an atrocity. Let's head in. No one makes offerings to the Four Winds anymore. Yet the old winds never vanish. We need to clear out the temples. For the Four Winds.
For the Four Winds! Yeah! Alright, Kaeya. Let's show off Cryo. So I can unlock you. And then I'll go over team building since we now have more than 4 characters. Alrighty. Let's do this.
Let me show you how the Knights of Favonius conquer our adversaries.
Very well.
What's the hurry?
Alrighty.
If I'm not mistaken, the end of the temple should be up there.
Up there. Alright.
Wait, how do you know?
There we go. Like I demonstrated with the
Experience.
slime, when they're in water, they're under,
The
they're
kind
under
of
a hydro
experience you
effect.
get after years
And
of
you
dealing
can
with
freeze
things
them.
like this for others.
Now the fun part about freezing is you can inflict shatter with a claymore. As you can see there, it does a larger hit. And it's actually in the elemental mastery for damage increases. Freeze them. You can also do melt, which is 100% increase. As you can see.
Unless I'm mistaken.
And you can also
You don't
proc
seem to have a
supercharged,
vision.
which I will
So
hopefully
how
be able
exactly
to show in
is
a
it that
second.
you're able to channel elemental energy?
It was a very strange occurrence.
And strangely, I can ignite these boxes in water. Fun fact. That Dendro still burns in water. No vaporize going on. I saw that green up there. There might be a treasure up there. I'm gonna go check that out. And it's not climbable. Well, that's fun. Anyway. Then you have these, which you only see in strange domains like this one that are very specific to Cryo. You can actually deactivate them by hitting them with Cryo. Perfect. So when they're frozen, you can then switch to Electro and do a supercharge. Oh. They unfroze too soon, and now they're dead. Supercharge is essentially an ice detonation, similar to Overload.
Cool it!
And it works amazing on Electro shields.
We're here.
So if you find, for example,
Seems the
one of
path
the
ends here.
hammer dudes with
Let's
the
use the wind
Electro
currents
shield,
to fly up.
Cryo will absolutely wreck their shield. Ah, there's one of the crystals I was talking about. So, if you find a water crystal, you can hit it and it'll proc fire.
Water. We can use
Until
this
then-
to put out fire.
Proc hydro on
Good idea.
fire people
That's
too.
some keen
and then-
observation. We should get Jean to give you a title and make you a knight.
Yeah.
What's the hurry? What's
Come on. Here we go. So freeze and superconduct. See, it does an AoE blast.
This moment will be frozen.
Try not to enjoy this too much.
But yeah. See if I can find this frost slime in the overworld that'll give us a better demonstration of superconduct there. screen. There we go. Oh, I saw a Bradish. There
What's
we
the
go.
hurry?
There we go. I was just gonna fly over, but the game has other intentions for me. Fun fact about cryo, it actually freezes water. If you use cryo on the water, it will actually make a walkway for you to cross.
Speaking of, did you know? Storm Terror was once one of the 4 winds. I'm not aware of the exact details. If you're
And
interested,
might I say that
you can
is
ask the acting Grand Master about it.
extremely helpful for crossing large bodies of water without expending too much stamina.
Is that the thing that Storm Terror is using to gain its power?
Seems probable. Let's deal with it. Bravo! What a performance. You are, to my surprise, a well-trained knight. The battles you
comes my
just
boy.
fought were sights to behold. I see you already have the knightly virtue of modesty. Stories of your heroic deeds to save Mondstadt from destruction shall be known throughout the City of Freedom, well into the future. Please do visit me at our headquarters when you have the time. I also know a lovely tavern, if that's more your thing.
Speaking of taverns, a certain tavern master about
Quite
to just come
rewarding. No?
out of nowhere.
We've seized another temple
My
from
favorite
Storm Terror's
character coming
grasp.
in.
I can take care of the
The
rest
only one
here.
that knows how to
You go
truly
take
rise
care
like
of
a
other things
phoenix.
while I'm at it.
See you later then, bye-bye.
There's no way Hilly Turtles organized an ambush like this themselves. Not with their limited mental capacity.
This mage, meet the phoenix.
Thus you were behind this.
There he is. To Luke. He's not even armed, just using his bare hands. Oh, there's the claymore.
Knights of Favonius, always so inefficient.
Agree to disagree, but your involvement in this just made things a whole lot more interesting.
That's true. Alrighty. And now that we have unlocked Kaeya, I will go over some tips for team building. Because you want to proc those elemental effects as best as possible using the team at hand. You're going to want type coverage that benefits you the most, as well as a main DPS character of your choosing. I'll show you more when I can demonstrate. Let's see. Always that cryo sigil. I swear the Fatui are at work with these loading screens. Alrighty. Venture rank 7, let's go! On our way! And we got Kaeya.
Whew, it's finally done. Well, all that lay flow and elemental line stuff Lisa was going on about should hopefully be back to normal. Want to go back and see how the knights are doing? But if you got anything more interesting to do, Paimon can come too. By the way, we obtained another Animalculus in one of the Four Winds temples, right? We might come across more of them in the future, so don't forget to offer them to the statues.
Will do. Paimon's so bossy, I swear. So I apologize, you can hear my brother, he's next to me, and I've raised my sensitivity on my mic high enough where you hopefully can't hear him too much. When he gets loud, he can only do so much, right? Let's see. Now I will discuss team building. Perfect, the game wants me to go over it too. Oh, let's quick setup. Oh. See, I never use this. I always go, alright, here's my 4, first slot, goes to my main DPS, always. And in this playthrough, as it's free to play, my best character is obviously going to be Traveler. Traveler is the most flexible, and eventually we'll be able to use all the elements, and the easiest to upgrade. You can't go wrong with Traveler. Traveler is a fantastic character overall, and that's what I'm focusing on as my main DPS. And since my main DPS is a Nemo, I need to counter for the main shield types. So for fire, well, I have fire for cryo abyss mages and cryo shields. I'm going to have, eventually Barbara will be in this spot for my healer, and Hydro to deal with fire shields and the like, because Electro is more of an overall coverage, whereas fire, cryo, and Hydro specifically focus on one element to counter.
Ready when you are.
And then I'm using Kaeya as my cryo person to counter Hydro-based enemies. So overall, this will be my team until I'll unlock Barbara at level 18, and then Barbara will be in Lisa's spot as my healer and Hydro representative, and my team will be complete. The others, I'll worry about, like Noelle and eventually Lisa when I put Barbara in my team, will be focused on after my main team. And it's always good to choose a main team of 4 to have at the ready, because you only want to focus 4 people until you hit level 90. Any other use of resin will negatively affect you, because when that world level increases, it's gonna hurt the less you're prepared for it. So it's always good to stay ahead of the game. Oh, that's right, I gotta log in. Test runs. Fate foretold. Ooh. I get a prototype Rancorn of Favonius Warbow for free. I just forgot about that. Adventure rank 10 and 18. There we go. Okay. So. Now that my team's set up and I'm ready to go, I'm going to continue the story as far as I can. Let's see. Requires adventure rank 10. Looks like we're hitting the grindstone. To say. Alright, let's go finish this cooking quest I didn't turn in last video and completely forgot about, to be honest. Ooh, some hilly trolls to kill. Let's go. There we go. All done with that. On to the next. Alrighty. Do I see any treasure in there? I do see some treasure in there. I'm gonna go for it. These treasures are also important for, not only for items, but for adventure rank, as they give you adventure rank. And fire swirl. Take care of that. Boom. And fire proc into slashes, and good. Also worth noting, you can just break these boxes. You don't have to use fire. I was just burning them for the sake of showing you Pyro's effect on Dendro. Alrighty, what's next? I believe I saw a trip just over here with another horde of enemies. And I would be correct. Keep in mind, it's always better to use that Anemo swirl effect with another element, as it increases your damage drastically with Anemo skills. That's why I'm making sure when I start a fight to place myself near the fire so it can proc the fire. If not, I can always ignite one of the enemies with Amber and switch back to my Anemo user, which is my main DPS, the Traveler. And that's where that team comp comes into play. In a situation on water, I'd probably switch more to Kaeya. Maybe some Lisa with the Electro. And proc it with the Anemo. Alrighty. Got that Sealy done. Ooh, it's one of these. So these actually boost you in the air when you're gliding, in the direction you're facing most times. And if you complete them the right way, like so, you get a treasure chest. Yeah, sometimes the Sealies are not very nice and they make you work for your prize. Alrighty. I'll make it back to Mondstadt. Work in progress. Alright. I see that Nemoculus. And I see those dudes. Always good to practice your aim at long range. There we go. Treasure chest. Oh, you want to go, do you? Let me ignite that shield. Boom. And oh. I just got blocked from that thing. Alright, who's sniping me? You wanna go, buddy? Let's snipe. And overload.
You're in for a little shock. You're in for a little shock.
And detonate. Perfect. Alrighty. There we go. Yeah, those Nemoculus are important for that stamina bar. Because, man, the small stamina bar is driving me crazy. It's a significant difference from maxed out to normal. And there's also going to be Geo ones in the UA, which we'll get to when we get to. Because there's much more of those than there are of the Anemo ones.
Never go adventuring on an empty stomach.
Alright, let's finish this
Is it
since I
done?
don't know how to
Let me
finish
try.
anything. Let's see.
Now that's really tasty. You are indeed gifted.
Let's go.
With your culinary skills, you should try more difficult dishes. Oh, I've got some raw ingredients in my bag. Have them in return for this meal.
Can we really have them? Won't you run out of ingredients?
That's okay. You should be able to find lots of ingredients when exploring the wilderness. There's also a restaurant in Mondstadt known as Good Hunter that sells food and ingredients. Go have a look when you've got the time.
Okay.
Will do.
Thank you for the info. Hey, leave some chicken mushroom skewers for Paimon.
Alrighty. Now that's done. What else we got? Blacksmith. Okay, so my next two are in Mondstadt. Also, with lower amounts of stamina, it is faster to just dash, let yourself return to normal speed, and dash again. As it will extend your increased speed and get you farther on it, instead of having to sprint and then run out of stamina and then wait and build it back up. It also feels less tedious when you're just dashing and dashing and dashing.
What do you want? Oh, yes. I'd forgotten about that. These
So
are
had
okay,
I.
I guess. Should be able to salvage something from them.
Alright. And as I was saying in my last video, you can then use those iron chunks to make things like enhancement ore.
If you ever find ore in the future, you can always come and see me. Ideally when I'm not busy. A blacksmith's work takes focus and concentration. It does not take
Fair enough.
small talk with customers. When the craft is good, business is good. That's all there is to this trade, and anyone who tells you different is trying to con you. And if there's nothing else, I'll carry on with my work.
At least the blacksmith's blunt and his swords
He's
aren't.
certainly committed to his work. Paimon will give him that. His temper isn't great, but leave it to him and he'll be able to forge what you need. Hey, there's a lady over there waving to you.
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Actually,
I have had my eye on you for a long time.
You've had your eye on him, eh? Has she been causing some mischief? Let's go and see what she wants.
Oh,
Quit calling me
that
a
is
she.
not what I meant at all. Being on the lookout for great adventurers
I'm
is part of my
man,
job.
god dang it.
When I look at
I'm a
you,
man, a big,
I
strong
see one
man.
with the potential to rival the great adventurers of legends.
Paimon sees it too. Paimon always feels safe adventuring with him.
Nevertheless,
Thank you.
to the adventurer,
Told me
experience
him.
is far more precious than potential. You must accumulate adventurer experience to increase your adventure rank. Time is of the essence. Allow me to brief you on...
Wait, are you saying we're like official adventurers now?
Do not worry. The Adventurers Guild does not charge a membership fee or impose any kind of duties on its members.
Good.
In short, there are lots of benefits, but no drawbacks to becoming a member.
Alrighty then.
Basically, the Adventurers Guild rewards you every time your adventure rank increases. Here is a new member's gift for you. You will need to return here to claim rewards in the future.
Ooh, goodies. Let's see, I got that. Dang, look at all these rewards. Let's go. Oh, I get a 4. Oh yeah, that's the event thing. Man, it's been so long since I've been this low.
Without further ado, please allow me to officially welcome you, our new avid adventurer, into the guild. Here is your adventurer handbook.
This looks more like a
It
marketing
is,
pamphlet.
in a way. But it has some practical uses too. It has a record of available commissions and rewards.
Okay.
And it is also proof of your membership. Oh, and one more thing. Sometimes you will find yourself stuck at a certain adventure rank. When this happens, you need to perform some impressive feats to gain further recognition from the guild.
Impressive feats? Sounds like hazing to me.
They are simply specific adventures that allow you to ascend to the next adventure rank on completion. Ascension adventures, if you will.
Okay.
But that will come later. Opportunities to win recognition will come as you gain more adventure experience. That will do for today. We will have plenty of chances to meet again in the future. Ad Astra Abyssosk, adventurer. With effort, you shall reach the stars and conquer the abyss.
Yeah. My handbook's now here. I can claim all this stuff. Let's go. Already on chapter 2. Let's go. Hey, rank 8. Leyline Blossoms unlocked. That's actually really nice. Which means I probably now have 160 resin, don't I? Oh, fun.
Ad Astra.
Better get doing that then. Don't want to waste my resin after all. Well then. I got quests to do. And I will do them as soon as I get my resin out of the way because it needs to be on cooldown. So, time for some resin grinding. Let's see. Get this out of the way. All the new... Oh, I can't just go. Okay. Thought maybe I could go to the bottom and then go back to the top, but no. No. That's too easy. Alrighty. Let's see here. All these things. Okay. So... Oh yeah, that's why I was in here. I'm gonna level up. Let's see. I'm gonna use these since I'm almost level 20. Alrighty, level 20. Alright, next is Amber. Do 2 of those and 1 of these. Level 20. Next I'll do Kaeya. See if I can even get him to 20. Nope. But let's see. Gotta be rank 15 for that. Dang, I already have 66,000 Mora. Okay. Let's see. Are these leyline blossoms even on my map? Kinda. That one's there. Looks like I only have the XP book one. Well, let's head there. Ooh. Oh, I'm at it. Let me level this up too. Let's see. Level that up too. It's important to keep your weapons and character levels as up to date as possible. Alrighty. Now I don't want to level her weapon up too much. Or his, because I'll be getting new weapons for them shortly. But I can at least level Lisa's up for now. She's gonna need it. Because I'm not gonna get a book for a while. Honestly though, now that I have that leveled, I should be fine to go with this. After all, I have gotten quite a bit of enhancement ore. Kaeya this. Kaeya's I am going to keep low because I'm about to get another 4-star sword at rank 10. And I'm essentially at rank 10. I'm at rank 8 right now, and the low ranks go up quickly. Alrighty. Where am I headed? I'm headed down here for this. I know where this is, so I'm gonna go here first. Get the map unlocked, and then head to that leyline blossom. That's the current plan. And I see a treasure chest. Bet your butt I'm going for that. Oh wait, I got artifacts too, didn't I? Yes, I did. Let's see. I know that's 3-star, but that's the Adventurer's Flower. It's gonna be 1,000 HP. But I don't need that. Defense is 100, picking up more, restores health. Wow, I've never actually looked at these 2-star ones. I just threw them on. Let's see. Incoming healing. Well, the game is certainly pushing me towards these adventurers things. Well, I guess I'll do that for now. Artifacts are very important, but early game they are hard to get. They're hard to find really good ones. Artifacts are something that you should always have, and you should always be raring to upgrade them. Especially in late game, because in late game, the artifact's what makes the character.
Disappear!
And I failed my ulti. Y'all didn't see that, right? Okay, let's see. But I'll go into artifacts more when we actually have some sets that I can compare and break down for you guys. Right now I don't even have the map. Really, so I can't... Well, maybe I can. Let me see. Yeah, see, those aren't even on the map yet. They're all locked. Can I even look? Okay. For example, a good Electro set would be Thundering Fury, because it gives you an Electro damage bonus for 2 pieces. So basically, if you have 2 pieces of that set equipped on your character, you're getting the 15% Electro damage bonus. And then there's a 4-piece set, whereas you have 4 pieces of that set equipped to your character. It will increase your damage caused by Overload, Electrocharge, and Superconduct by 40%. Triggering such effects decreases your elemental skill cooldown by 1 second. And this can only occur every 0.8 seconds. It's a fantastic set for Electro. But that's where those set pieces, those are where it gets into having artifacts makes a world of difference. But every artifact, and I can probably show you on these, has substats. Like you can see on this one, you have under the +0, there's crit damage plus 4.7. That's actually really good. crit damage, attack plus. You always want a percentage because a percentage will always be higher than a flat number, where you can see is something like defense plus 10 or HP plus 72. There's no percentage on that, so it is actually worse than a percentage increase because the percentage will be based off your total. And so you want to look for stuff like crit damage plus 4.7% or attack plus 3.5%. And depending... And the percentage will actually increase it by a lot more. And so, like, for certain characters, like, for example, Traveler doesn't have a lot of... I wouldn't say Traveler has an element you want to focus on, because Traveler's a character that's going to change elements all the time. So you want to focus more on the attack and the crit. Maybe some elemental effects, not actually specifying which element. Which there are plenty of sets for. Like, there's the Gladiator set that focuses more on physical damage and crit chance and stuff like that. That's what I recommend more on Traveler, stuff like that. Whereas someone like, for example, Amber, she'll do great with an attack set. You can't go wrong with an attack set. But when you get into how you want to use her, like for me personally, I use her for setting as a fire starter. I use her for fire and elemental type stuff, so I want more of a fire mastery set. Which in the UA there's one called the Crimson Witch, which fits perfectly. And I don't think I can show it to you. Yeah, it's not on my map. It's it's actually like right around here on the map. The domain for it. We'll get there when we get there, right? And I will be eventually grinding it on Amber for this playthrough anyway, so on down the road, but one day. And that's where more of the co-op and endgame stuff comes into play. Alrighty, so we're headed to this thing to get the map. We're headed to that red beam right there. You can kind of see the statue from here. Yep. Alrighty. Now while we're here, there's actually a Shrine of the Depths here. Now if you see one of these, you're gonna want to mark it on your map. The fancy symbol. I'm gonna use a clover. That's what I use for interesting stuff. But basically, there's a chest in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's a nice, fancy, precious, luxurious chest. But in order to open it, you need a Shrine of the Depths key. You know, to get one of those keys, you remember those domains we were doing and I said they were story related? They have the small blue circle instead of a bigger one. If you notice, right here is how you get them. You do those things. And there's also some story quests that give them. But right now, this is all I can really show you for how to acquire them. And there's... Well, let's check the achievement so I can tell you how many there are. Let's see. First, let me get this. Yay, Primo gems I'm not going to use. But, let's see. If you go down to Mondstadt, City of Wind and Song, there are 10 Shrines of the Depths in Mondstadt. Once you open all 10, because once you do them, you can't, they're permanently open. You can't get the treasure chest from it anymore. But once you get all 10, you get that achievement. And that's what it's really what it comes down to. But really, the main reason to open it is that precious chest gives some really good loot. Because it's the highest rarity chest. Hello, Animoculus. Why are you in a super inconvenient place? I'm gonna grab it. Actually, I just remembered I don't have the stamina to grab it right now. One day. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go around this way. I don't have the stamina. Alrighty. So I can tell this one's gonna be annoying to get to, but I'm gonna get to it. Okay. Stamina. Try and glide so I can get kind of a head start on this wall. And I'm not gonna jump because if I jump I won't make it and I'll fall and take a large amount of damage. Instead I gotta climb it the slow way. You know what they say, slow and steady wins the race. Alrighty. Let's see. And I should be able to start jumping now. Yep. Barely made it. But I made it, nonetheless. Ooh, it's one of these. So you notice there is a wind barrier.
The Seven seems to be affected by a monster nearby.
In order to open it,
that monster might remove this strange
we're gonna have to beat that wind sprite. Which I hope I'm ready for. Okay. Hello, wind sprite.
Bet you can't keep up with me. Let it rain.
Gonna do some effects.
Come a little closer.
And
Blitz.
detonate. See, those elemental effects make a world of difference.
Let's spark things up a little.
And proc the electro on it, so now pyro. Overload that. There we go. Look at that. Elemental effects for the win. And that enemy is a lot more difficult than a lot of them. It's called a wind sprite.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
And man, oh man. Also, while we're here, I notice there's one of these. Now you see this plant, if you investigate it, it pops out these bubbles. And then you need an archer, because you're going to be popping each one. If I can hit them. And bam. And it gives you a chest. So whenever you see these flowers, you're going to want to go over here and interact with them.
I'll race you there.
Alrighty. And unlocked. That's what I'm talking about. Now I have that part of the map. Much more to see. There we go. Let's see, can I upgrade it? I can. Let's go. I think it upgraded twice. Is that what that said? It looked like it was 2 stamina increases. Yep, level 4 now. It's very important to upgrade those.
Get ready for the gliding champion of Mondstadt.
Let's see. Any other wind wheel asters around here to grab? Make sure I caught them all. It's also important to grab those crystal flies for crystal cores because it allows you to make, what are they called? Condensed resin. You're gonna need those once you unlock the condensed resin recipe. So if there's a day you can't spend your resin or something, you can turn it into condensed resin so you're not wasting it. Or you're not losing out on resin regenerating. Because you want it regenerating all the time. That's why I went straight for these leyline blossoms. Also, something else. Ice flower, you can then melt and pick it up. Let's see. Be wary of those seeds. They do detonate. See? And they like to jump out of nowhere. See, watch. You step on it, it's like a landmine. And kaboom. Well, that was not my finest moment. Alrighty, looks like we got Pyro and Electro, both of which react with Cryo. So, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna move over here, and I'm gonna grab that fire and overload these 2 little boys. All while proccing melt while I fight. Alright, looks like gather them up and get that swirl effect, overload, and go for the kill. The flower is the priority enemy here because it's flowers as you can see, are a little more annoying. And that overload thing will destroy the fire shield. Anything that reacts with another element will do larger amounts of damage to the shield, but there's certain ones that specialize, like Hydro will put out a fire shield like no tomorrow, or Cryo will break a lightning or a Hydro shield effectively, and Fire will naturally melt a shield made of ice. Yeah. Anyway, I've spent some resin. You notice I got some rewards. I actually got more XP books to level my characters with. Let's see. And the rewards for those flowers actually scales with your adventure, with your world level. When your world level goes up, you do get better rewards from those flowers. I think I'm at world level 5 right now, and I get 3 to 4 of those purple XP books per flower. Which honestly is pretty solid. And after you finish one, another one will spawn. Which is pretty nice. Keep in mind as well, for every 20 resin spent, you get a 100 adventure rank XP. So like right now, I need 600 more. Which means if I spend 120 resin, I will rank up. Oh, and there's an Anemoculus here. Also, you notice these fairy things I've been picking up? They are called Anemograna. Oh, they timed out. And when you get 3 of them, it creates a wind thing. Or, what's it called? It creates one of those things that lets you fly up in the air. It creates one of these. Though I might just be able to mooch off of this one. And no, I'm not. But basically, you see they're scattered here. You get one. I'm going to want to get that third one last. You get 2. And when you get 3, this happens. They create a gale, which allows you to launch up. And usually it's going to be an Anemoculus up here. There we go. But keep in mind, if you are using an Anemo character, all you need is 1. So you can just use your skill, and it does make one. And on to the next thing. And there's your description of Anemograna that I was just talking about. Let's see. On to the next one. Ah, fire flower. If you happen to see one of these, just know that you can freeze them, and it will put the fire out, so you can then take the stamen from it.
Dodge this.
Alrighty.
Disappear.
Fire tornado to group them up, even though the fire does no damage, hence the immune. And we'll switch to Lisa.
You're in for a little shock. You're in for a little shock.
And dead. Oh.
You're in for a little shock.
You gotta be careful with her R2 because if you're not careful, the enemies can still attack you.
Dodge this.
Hello, double fire flower. Alrighty.
Let it rain.
Also worth noting, notice that even though it is a fire enemy, it does not have fire naturally procced on it. So you can still take fire and proc it on that enemy type. Just like anything else. And get that overload proc.
Going out is tiring.
Did I mention I hate these flowers?
Cool it.
hate that attack. That's my main thing. I gotta get used to dodging.
What's the hurry?
Alrighty.
Cool it. Frostbite.
And that's the punishment you get if you don't break their shield. Alright, screw this. You're going down, you're going down. There we go. Not my best moment. Dang. Okay, I'm gonna go heal at the Shrine of the Gods. Also worth noting, if you need healing, or you have someone who's dead, and you don't have the food to heal yourself, or you don't want to use the food to heal yourself because you're near a statue, you can heal at the statue. As you can see, Lisa's now at full health. And as it turns out, I haven't set it yet. You go to Statue's Blessing, and you can set any amount. I prefer 100%, so whenever I'm near a statue, it will automatically fully heal. And its restorative power is based off your adventure rank, or not the event, it's based off the level of the statue. So the more you get those in the Animoculus and the more you level it up, the more restorative power it'll have. And I believe the restorative power is the max it can heal per day, or for a time limit. But yeah, that's how that works. Let's see. Finally level up Lisa. That might be why I die with Lisa. She's only level 3. Might help to level her up. Let's see. There we go. Now I got 3 characters level 20. And I have something on my adventurer book. Let's see. Alright, I got that unlocked and that unlocked. Now I need to cook 5 dishes and hunt down a Cryo Abyss Mage. Can do. Honestly, I might be able to get that Animoculus. I'm gonna go for it. Especially since it's bothering me. I can't stand to leave it sit there. My OCD kicks in. And Dendro covered chest. Get off my mountain. Alrighty. Let's try and get this. There we go. Wasn't too hard. Looked harder than it was. Let's see, over to the next Leyline Blossom. Ooh, that's a time trial. Let's see, so this is how a time trial works. You interact with it. This is a time trial, by the way. And this one wants me to fly and open the chest in 30 seconds. So what I have to do is I have to get to the destination, which is right there, in allotted time limit. And got it. Let's go. Whenever you see one, it's always nice to do it because it does give you Primogems, it does give you Adventure XP, and there is a challenge tied to it in your achievements. And them achievements gives you them Primogems. But yeah. Alrighty, let's go up here and on to the next Leyline Blossom. Gotta do them daily. Oh. Dandelions.
No escape.
You noticed they were immune before and then they're not because of the fire. You find an enemy type like a Nemo. If you're fighting a Nemo/them a Nemo character, if you set another element or you get the swirl effect from a torch or something, you will still be able to damage them with the pyro side of it, or whatever other element you used instead of pyro. All right, right over here. Beat all enemies. Alright, looks like we got a bunch of pyro going on, so let's try her again. So. There we go. And one more. These are also a good way to farm random enemy resources, because they do drop them most of the time. Ooh! Perfect time to demonstrate a pyro shield, as you can see on that Abyss Mage. I would prefer if I had a Hydro person, but I do not, so I will show you the other way around it. It's really any way you can proc an element with pyro, it's going to do damage to that shield. So, I can use cryo to a limited effect. See, as you can see, I do like no damage to that shield, but that cryo hit did a little bit.
Freeze!
Or you can use electro for the overload proc.
Come a little closer.
Fun fact about the rain, though, you notice it procs Hydro, so you can still freeze you can freeze the enemies when it's raining. Meant to do that before I killed him. Ooh, a viewpoint. And there's another Shrine of the Depths all the way out there, as you can see. So I'm going to mark it. Should be right around here. There we go. Looks like this one's gonna be all the way out here, so I'm gonna warp to this temple and head there. Alrighty. Let's see. No stamina. Okay. While I'm over here, though, I'm gonna grab that warp portal. Well, my challenge to beat a Cryo Abyss Mage. There's one right there. You can tell it's Cryo because it has the white shield and Cryo's procced on it when the shield is up, and you can see in the water how it's frozen. As you can see, fire destroys Cryo shields.
Surrender and I'll be gentle.
But you can still proc ice on them when they're not in their shield. And as you can see, if you combine elements, no sooner will they die. It's just, it destroys them. Alrighty. So yeah, if you do encounter a cryo shield, you're gonna want to use fire on it. Looks like there's an Animoculus up there. Let's see what we can do about that. Gotta regen my stamina. Jump. Start climbing again. Hopefully I can make it. I don't know if I'm gonna get caught on this thing up here. Should be fine. Yep. And up we go. There it is. And that's how it's done. And we got that Cryo Abyss Mage done. Now I just have to cook 4 dishes. Alrighty. Nope, there's a time trial over there. I'm gonna mark it. Use that quest icon, 'cause it's kind of like a mini quest. Huh. New quest, huh? Boom. Explosions. Oh. That'll be alright. There we go. They're all done.
Come a little closer.
Alright. And tornado. Did he really... The guy standing next to me threw me off. Keep in mind, your ulti as Traveler will always go towards the nearest character. I mean, the nearest enemy. And that goes with Venti's ultimate too. Alright. Archers are on my nerves. Alright. By the way, notice his shield is made of Dendro. Fire type, or these shield dudes here in Mondstadt have Dendro shields that you can burn away. Once their weapon's gone, they become a million times easier.
Come a little closer.
Cool it.
You've been a naughty boy.
Alrighty,
You've been a
and
naughty boy.
detonate, and get that electro swirl, and knock him out. As you can see, the way you use your elements can completely change the flow, the tide of battle. It increases your DPS output by a tremendous amount, and it makes a world of difference. We can get this off my screen. Alrighty. And I'm gonna follow the Sealy. Which looks like it's headed to somewhere near the Leyline Blossom. Perfect. It's headed over here anyway. Let's see. Sometimes these Sealies take forever. Looks like it's going right there. Alright. What do I gotta do for the treasure? Nothing! Yes! Alrighty. Do another Leyline Blossom. Gotta spend that resin. Hello, fire dudes. Yes, ignite all the grass. Do it. You know you want to. Electro or Pyro Swirl. And Pyro Ulti. And some Pyro. Looks like we got a Dendro Shaman. Those swirl effects are fantastic, by the way. Cannot stress it enough. If you're using an MMO character, always proc the swirl. And of course it's up the cliff. Alrighty. More we got to do. 3 more. Alrighty. Last 3 and then side questing again. So we're approaching the 2-hour mark. Might be time to call it soon. Sometimes, by the way, you'll notice there's a sunsetia on top of this rock pillar. If you take it, treasure chest. Now, sometimes that doesn't always work, in my experience, but that one did. Thank God. For the sake of demonstration. Alrighty, looks like these guys went up. Okay. I see how it is. Treasure hunters want to play with ranged combat. And I don't feel like doing it, so...
What you got?
Alright, what we got now?
Disappear!
Fire tornado!
I got careless.
And fire swirl.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
And
You've been a naughty boy.
beautiful. Always make sure to pick up your rewards. And we should have a full team level 20s now. Did I not get her to 20? No, I did. Okay. Saw the 19. I was like, 2 more of these. I see that Sealy over there. I'll have to get that afterwards. See what we got. It's like fire and electro. Perfect. Together, overload. Beautiful. It's overloaded swirl. Oh.
No one escapes my sight.
This one will be frozen in time.
Let's spark things up.
And he's gone. And that's why it's good to have multiple elements, because they'll all proc off each other when you decide to go full on team multi mode. Righty. We have one more. Let's check. Yep, one more. Then back to progress. Huh. It's pretty far down. I'll just go ahead and teleport so I don't have to climb all those mountains. Let's see. Alrighty. We're going down here. I see a shield boy. I love the sword's detonation. Ooh, a hydro shield, perfect. Hydro shields can be frozen.
What's the hurry?
As you can see.
You're in for a little...
Okay. They also proc with superconduct, so if you want to use electro on them, it will proc. But for the most part, cryo does the most damage to them. But these archers wanna ruin my day. So I'm gonna sniper them.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
There we go, and he must warp down there. That'll give me some time to collect some of the enemy drops before he comes back up. Yep. Cryo.
Oh, so sorry.
Cryo.
Freeze!
There we go. And that was our last leyline blossom with our resin. I'd call that a success, because we now have all level 20 characters in our party. Let's go. And their weapons, except for his, because he's getting the prototype Rancor here in a minute. Yep, almost halfway through it. Just about rank 10. Let's see. On our way to Mondstadt, looks like. Also, I meant to show you guys while I was doing party setup. There is another alternative to party setup. I told you to make sure you have your enough elements to cover you. But there are benefits, as you can see, if you have two or more. I mean, if you have two of the same element. And my favorites consist of fire, due to increased attack by 25%, and the wind, as it decreases your stamina consumption by 15%, increases movement speed by 10%, and shortens your skill cooldowns by 5%. The others are more based around the element, with the exception of Geo being based on shields. But for the most part, it seems like fire and wind are the two best, in my opinion. It's worth a check in case you have certain elements you like to use more. At the end of the day, this game really comes down to a playstyle choice. You have to choose which characters you like to play best, and build your team around those characters. Like what characters will assist others better, and it's about coming up with good team combinations to use in battle. Because the gameplay in this game heavily favors the 4 teammates as opposed to the singular character.
Look! Doesn't that shop look interesting?
Alright, let's see what you got, Marjorie.
Welcome. Every treasure here is unique. Guaranteed.
Yep. There's nothing here that Paimon recognize.
What did I tell you? These are all rare items brought back by adventurers from all corners of the world. Is there anything that catches your eye?
Can't ask about the
No
price.
need. I forgot to mention, I operate on a trading basis. Goods for goods. No Mora accepted here.
No more at all.
I've been trying to make something a bit special recently,
Okay.
and I need a lot of animo sigils to decorate it with.
Fair
Do
enough.
you have any animo sigils with you?
A few.
It seems the Animal Archon approves of your adventures then.
More to the point, any animal sigils you find you can trade in here for items in the shop.
Alright, let's see what you got. Ooh, silver slivers, weapon materials. There's the prize right there. Beautiful. Gives me a constellation for the traveler. That's nice too. I can make another Rancor for Kaeya to have refinement on his sword. And then Mora. Can't go wrong with Mora. I already have 83 of them just from that
Animal
passive
sigils
grind we've
appear
done.
all over Mondstadt. If you find yourself short, just keep exploring.
Absolutely. What could be more beautiful than a gift from the Animal Archon?
Okay, you got me. It's actually more complicated than that, but it's easier for people to understand if I just say it's for decoration. Obviously, the reason I need animal sigils is because they have properties that other materials cannot provide.
Let's see it when
Of
it's
course.
finished.
I guarantee you will be quite surprised at the result. Do come again soon, and bring me lots and lots of animo sigils next time.
Will do.
Please also visit if you come across any weird and wonderful treasures on your adventures.
Sounds good.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
Alrighty.
Paimon can... a fix topped with a generous... Paimon's made of her... It's an emergency. We must order ourselves a generous serving of Fisherman's Toast from Good Hunter, pronto. It's on
Alrighty
you,
then.
of course.
Let's buy some Fisherman's Toast then. Also, later on in the game, if you have money to spare, which is rare, but if you're in one of those limbo things at higher adventure ranks where you're looking for, where you're building all your Mora up and you're like, I have like 6 million. It's always good to buy these weekly because these are the cooking orders. Oh.
Good Hunter, this
I'll
might
finish this once
surprise you.
Paimon
You
lets me
can
go
try
over to the
cooking.
cook.
Can your cooking skills surpass that of Good Hunters? Why, Paimon would love to be your personal taster. Don't you let me down.
Quite busy.
I won't. Yeah, it's good to buy them because those are these. And these are made with resources you find that can be a little difficult to grind out. Also worth noting that there's a grocery store right here with some of them, but not all of them, where you can buy 100 a day of all of these items. So when you're ready to cook and go for that cooking achievement, restaurants and grocery stores are your best friends.
A radish veggie soup.
But I'm gonna go log out from the spot that I treasure most. This is the spot I always start my day in on my main account. Now I happen to be venting on my main account when I'm here, but I still love this spot nonetheless. And since it's my first time doing this, I will no doubt get an achievement for it. So you achievement hunters, if you don't have it yet, there's a hidden achievement for doing this. Alrighty. Up the statue I go. There we go. You can sit in the hands of the Nemo Archon and get a trophy and an achievement. Anyway, I'm Sparkmaster Neon. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here to prove that this game is free to play, where I fight for your financial freedom. As always, shine bright and live a phoenix tale, and I'll see you all tomorrow.